welcome to Still Waters, our Witcher TTRPG One-Shot. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Saturday. This is a not normal time for Magitek RPG to be streaming, but we're happy you're here if you're able to join us live. If not, hello, everybody in VOD land. It is great to see you all, and hope you're having a good weekend. So, before we get into our game tonight, I'm going to go through some of my usual housekeeping stuff that I like to go through before the start of all of our games, and also introduce our players, because we do have some new faces to Magitek RPG here, but not new faces to me, because I am familiar with many of these folks, but I will give them a chance to introduce themselves in a moment. But of course, if you're here joining us, we are usually here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays for our regularly scheduled shows. We have this Monday, Tales of Thunder, so definitely tune in to Tales of Thunder at 6 p.m. Pacific on Monday, and our Blaze in the Dark season finale on Tuesday, of course, if you want to see that. And then Friday, we're going to be Magitek RPG is going to be a Gen Con, but we are going to be uploading a live as an in-person recording of us playing Grim Domains at Gen Con. So very excited. A lot of our crew is going to be at Gen Con next weekend. It's going to be a very exciting time, and we get to actually play our D&D Grim Domains in person, which is really exciting. But I'm going to be at Gen Con running The Witcher. And that's actually why we're here today. To give a little context as to what this one-shot is I will actually be running this exact game for some players at our Talsorian's booth at Gen Con next weekend. I'm very excited to be running The Witcher TTRPG for our Talsorian. And I wanted to kind of give it a test run before I run it for people in person at a convention. I haven't actually run this one-shot, but it is available for anybody, and I will link it at the end of this. It's actually free. This particular one-shot is from the easy mode version of the Witcher tabletop RPG, which is actually free for anybody. If you go to DriveThruRPG and just like search Witcher easy mode, you can actually access a PDF that has some basically the intro on how to play the Witcher TTRPG in like kind of more easier version. It has some pre-made characters that all of these players are actually playing the pre-made characters that are in this module. And then it also has at the very bottom the quest, basically the one shot that you can run for players. So hopefully I gave everybody the PDF. Hopefully none of you read the bottom of the PDF that has the mission. Spoilers. But that is something you can access if you want to run this. You can run it for your friends as well. So yeah, that's everything about Still Waters and the Witcher TTRPG Easy Mode. So I would like to introduce our players before we dive into the game tonight. So I'm going to go around the bend here, and players, if you wouldn't mind just introducing who you are and what you do on the internet or where people can find you, and then just tell us who you're playing today. Again, they're all playing pre-generated characters, but just let us know who you're playing. And then the last thing, I know this is a lot of tasks. If you forget, it's fine. Tell us your favorite Witcher media out there. I like to do little icebreakers before we start. So just who you are, where we can find you on the internet, who you're playing, and what's your favorite Witcher media. I'm going to start with who's right next to me. So Anais, you get to go first.
Yay! What's up? My name's Anais. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the other ones that have popped up at Anais R. Morgan. I do actual play over on Infinite Sided Dice, where we play lots of Cyberpunk Red, amongst other things. So you can find me over there. I'm also on the Renegade Game Studios social medias all the time, so you can find me there too. What was it? Sorry.
Who are you playing today? It's fine. It's a lot.
I'm playing the human mage, Harris Slade, and my favorite Witcher media is the live album. I think for Witcher 3, I think is incredible live performances, incredible vocalists. But yeah, that's me.
Sweet. Next, Stormbeard, Chris.
Hi everyone, my name is Chris. You can find me Stormbeard on Twitter, and I think it's the Stormbeard on Twitter, and some variation of that. If you've ever seen this channel, you have probably seen me here. I'm here on Tuesdays and Fridays, sometimes Thursdays, sometimes Mondays. But anyway, yeah, I play Pritch in Grim Domains, I play Warden in Blades in the Dark, and yeah, for this game, I am playing Casca Torma, the Dwarf Doctor. With the red, I've decided I'm from Redania, just because this is all I had. And yeah, my favorite piece of Witcher content, you know, like, there's the books, there's the albums, but Witcher 3 is just chef's kiss. Especially, like, you know, Blood and Wine. Like, Blood and Wine is just such a good expansion. So I'm gonna just go be that guy and say The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine.
That's totally fine. It's one of the best games of all time for a reason.
Absolutely, 10 out of 10, you know?
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Yeah. Next up, Craigums.
How's it going? Name's Craigums. Craigums on all the everything but Twitter, I'm pretty sure, or whatever it's called now. I play as Rev in Grim Domains here on Magitek RPG. I also play as Knight in The Conduit, Blades in the Dark game we play here on Magitek RPG. I also am in a podcast, Unbalanced Encounters Rally, anywhere you find podcasts at, and I am playing Ada of Barnard, the human man at arms. And I'd probably say, of course, I love Wild Hunt as much as the next person, but I also enjoyed Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales. It's the Gwent game, and it's got an awesome, like, Telltales-esque sort of story that goes with it, and you can, like, it's so much fun.
I do love Thronebreaker. Yeah, Queen Maeve, great character.
Amazing.
And next up, Syrinx.
Hey, Syrinx. I am new on the channel. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as such, and I'll be playing Lusker of Haga, the Witcher of the group. I'm very excited to get out my steel and my silver. And my favorite Witcher media, I already set the story to everyone in the chat, in the call, so I'll do it again. Is the Witcher free game, because it's such a cozy little game that I played lots of evenings in winter with, like, tea by my side, with my cat by my side. And even though I finished the entire game, I haven't finished the DLCs, even though I have one, and people are furious at me because I am obsessed with vampires and everything vampire, and I haven't finished Blood and Wine.
How could you?
And I really should, so maybe I'll do that after this game, who knows.
And last but not least, Simon, Wandering DM.
Hello, new to the channel. I'm Simon at Wandering. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/WanderingDM. I stream Vampire the Masquerade on Mondays. Otherwise, I'm a game designer. I've worked on The Witcher, amongst other things. And yeah, that's gonna be. Oh yeah, character I'm playing. I am someone the Red. I forgot my name.
Andres the Red.
Andres the Red. Yes,
yeah.
thank you. Andres the Red. Elven Bard.
Yes. And then what is your favorite Witcher media? That isn't...
My favorite Witcher media? Well, Craig reminded me that Thronebreaker exists, and I feel bad for forgetting about it. But, oh boy. I would have to say, if I have to be very specific... Can it be a character?
Yes, actually. Because you have a favorite.
Where's my baby? It's over here.
Did you name your cat after... Oh, okay. I thought you were like, I named my... Oh, Saskia! My girly! I love Saskia. Yes. The Witcher 2 is also...
I can't hear anything. Oh, no.
Oh, oops. You didn't get to hear me scream over Saskia.
Okay, she's gonna go there.
Is that a body pillow or?
It's not a body pillow. It's a very small pillow. It's a pillowcase that a friend of mine makes, but
Look,
It's a body pillow for cats.
I wouldn't judge.
Basically, yeah.
If it well, I have a Levi body pillow from Attack on Titan.
I'm pretty sure Tracy was gonna ask where you got it. if
Yeah,
you said yes.
exactly. Like, where'd you get the Saskia body pillow? My
Yeah,
favorite. I would say The Witcher 2 is probably one of my favorite pieces of media. Yorveth, the scoia'tael elf, is one of my favorite characters. So yeah, that's mine. And then my favorite book is Baptism of Fire. All right, so that was intros for everybody. And I think we're about ready to dive into it. So without further ado, let us begin Still Waters, our Witcher TTRPG One-Shot. The Temerian capital of Visima has fallen under a tidal wave of black and gold. You were there. You saw everything. Nilfgaard didn't even bother lobbing rotten cows and soldiers' heads over the walls. The Nilfgaardian war machine hit the walls of the capital, and suddenly everything was blood and steel, screaming and death. You managed to drag yourself out of that hell and head north. With Nilfgaardian scouting patrols hounding the few survivors of the massacre, you've stopped recognizing the deep forests and rural towns you're passing through. Only when you hit the swamp do you realize that you're near the Pontar River. Now all that's left is to cross and look for shelter in Redania. You all are refugees of Temeria, and you've been traveling together, not really by choice, but more for survival. Better to work together to find ways to seek refuge in Redania rather than work by yourself. So you don't really know each other that well, but you've at least gotten acquainted as you've been traveling through these swampy, murky waters. And you do see the Pontar River. The day is getting later. It's beginning to be sunset, and you see the orange skies as the sun begins to set into the evening. You now look ahead and try to figure out what to do next. You could try fording the river, but it's very, very wide across. Definitely not swimmable. The Pontar River is one of the biggest rivers that you know of on the continent, and it does have known for some treacheries. So now as you stand with this river in front of you, what do you all look like at this stage where it's been a long day of traveling? You're a bit weary. You're a bit restless. But you do have some supplies on you for making camp, for resting. What do you all look like? Who wants to go first to kind of describe your character and what their state is right now?
I'll go first. So Casca, or as he likes to be referred to as just Torma, he's not fond of his first name. He is a dwarven doctor, and he has a little hand crossbow on his belt. But what's noteworthy about him, he has a huge satchel just full of vials and potions and smelling salts and healing stuff. And it kind of looks like comical on his dwarf stature. It's just like this gigantic satchel. As the smallest person here, he probably might have had a little bit of a hard time keeping up with everyone who's so tall. And he's probably a little bit winded, hands on his knees, catching his breath. And he looks around, and all of a sudden he's like eyeing everybody up and down, and he's checking for wounds that he needs to heal or anything. And yeah, he has Redanian kind of red colors on, as you can see. And yeah, he's just like walking around everyone, checking for wounds, and trying to help at the moment.
Who wants
If
to go
we've been
next?
waiting, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
If we've been wading through water, I probably am desperately trying to dry my clothes. Andres is a fairly short for an elf. He's around 5'5", 5'4", even maybe. But don't ask him about it. He has sort of shoulder length, like reddish auburn hair. And in fact, the satchel that he has is full of various things he just ransacked from the tavern he was playing in when the call came out that, you know, the horns blew that Nilfgaard was near. So he just grabbed everything he could and then made for the exit. And yeah, at the moment, I'm probably just furiously trying to dry my pants. There's no fire. I don't know how to make a fire. I'm an elf who hates nature. I was born for the cities.
I'll go next. Lesker is kind of closer to names Andrus. Face to the back to the group, face to the river, kind of like pacing almost to look and maybe strategize in her head how they will get across the river the fastest way. But also looking up, seeing it's already sundown almost. She is dressed in definitely clothes that I've seen better days. Kind of brown tins, plain pants, like green gambazon, with some leather armor strapped around her shoulders, chest, several pieces. And the iconic, maybe, for some who have in their times seen a Witcher, has one sword on her back and another at her side. Also, yeah, several scars on her face, and sort of almost cat-like eyes. It was a coincidence that she just so happened to be in the city at the moment of the attack. She doesn't like to hang around cities. Otherwise, she very much enjoys to be on her own, outside of cities, in nature, going from place to place. But she so happened to be in the city for a job when the attack happened, and she basically went with this group because there are some individuals in here that look weaker than others. And also she couldn't abandon Andrus when he was needing help because the two know each other, and some might say they're friends. It's debatable. But yeah, she is she's pacing, clearly like strategizing and not looking at the group.
And before the other two go, I will say one thing for all of you. It's interesting that you have a Witcher with you, as maybe for a few of you that you may not have seen a Witcher ever before. This might be your first time encountering one. They are rare, but you know of Witchers. You know of what they are, and maybe it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable that you have a Witcher with you, or maybe more uncomfortable. It really depends. But it is interesting to have a Witcher with you in your travels.
Cool. I'll go next. I could do that. Hera Slade is a human mage. She is a beautiful woman. You know the vibe. She's got dark hair. She's got just this like super beautifully like black and green kind of embroidered outfit, dress that really speaks to her assets. And she carries herself like a woman who always gets what she wants.
And to the opposite of that, Ada is a fully garbed in Timerian armor of a soldier who's literally just looks like he just got the crap beat out of him, especially after the fall of the capital. Has a face that has been punched multiple times and is probably still very punchable. Broken nose, few scars, not as cool of scars as our Witcher has. More just gnarly ones. Um and he is exhausted after retreating, running, fleeing from the capital and the battle. He's probably just took his whole helmet, scooped it full of water, and just drops it on his head, and he's just at a very low point right now as he's looking across this river.
And finally, you all can rest easy, or at least rest, as mosquitoes buzz around your head and shadows move in the underbrush. You clamber up onto an island of dry ground on the edge of the Pontar River. It's not large, but it will give you a bit of respite. Nilfgaard shouldn't be passing through here. You do know that they patrol some routes to the south and east of you. They'll take clearer routes into Redania once they finish tearing Temeria apart. The question is, once again, how to cross the Pontar. Aside from your island of dry dirt, the ground is all mud and nasty water. Who knows how deep the Pontar is or what you might encounter crossing it. Maybe there's a ferry still running, or a bridge, or something. What would you all like to do?
Dry my pants.
There's no fire.
I don't suppose you know of a way to make fire?
As a matter of fact, I do. Does anyone in this eclectic group know if there's a ferry running close? It could
Do
be
we
our
know if
only
there's a
escape.
ferry?
I would say, actually, Casca, since you have lived in Redania, you may be the most familiar with this area. I'm going to have you roll a... Give me one moment as I think about what I want you to roll. I am going to have you roll... perhaps education? Just to see what you might know of this area, and if you know if there are ferries that even cross the Pontar River.
Got it. And that is an intellect check, right?
Yes.
Got it. And it's a D10?
That is a D10, yes, and you will
D10
add...
plus your value?
Yes, correct.
Got it. That is a 12.
12. Okay. And for those wondering, we're rolling real dice, which is a rare thing on Magitek RPG. We usually use digital dice rollers, but because again, I'm running this at Gen Con, I'm like, you guys can use your dice, and so everybody will be calling out their rolls with their dice rolls. So a 12, you're not too familiar if there are ferries or anything that might be able to help you to get across the Pontar.
Question, Tracy.
Mhm.
Is it exhausting for me to use my signs at all? Can I use them?
You could, yes. It won't take a lot out of you if you decide to use one of your signs.
Okay, then just for flavor, in the meantime, while people are simmering on the question, Lusker is instructing Andres and going, take off your pants.
There are strangers here, but
Do you want them dry or not? Or do you want soggy pants and whine about them for the rest of the trip? Is that what you want?
You are nothing if not persuasive. And he just drops his trousers.
I'm gonna go get some wood.
hang them on that branch over there.
As they're talking, Casca is digging through his satchel, and he starts setting up a very large tent. And he's putting the stakes in the ground, and he's pitched in the middle of it, and he's like, now we can keep warm.
Warm going to be in a tent.
You can freeze out here, lassie. I don't care.
I am sure the Pond River is much warmer for you.
Pond River. I look up at the sky. Is there an indication of like weather and like how late it is in the day? Like what season is it even?
The sun is going down and it's humid. It is a summer evening and you all have felt the humidity all day. And in the evening, especially in these swampy lands, the air is very wet and dewy. It's not great to be in it. But it does get rather chilly in the evenings. So though it was hot and humid during the day, as soon as that sun goes down, it's going to start to get cold.
Great. Is it just us group? Are there more refugees around?
You haven't seen any. During your travels, you did see some refugees and people making their way, but you've mostly broken off from that. And you thankfully also haven't seen any Nilfgaardian forces for hours. So you feel like you're at least a safe enough distance away from Nilfgaard, but there aren't many other refugees.
Can't you do something with your Witcher magic to get us across the river?
Lusker was going to stand like in front of the pair of pans on the branch, and she looks back at Hera and just goes, "What, Miss Witcher magic?" And it just as she says that, she uses art on the pans to create a gust of wind, so that the pans like go flying if they weren't on the little branch holding on. Does that for a second, then drops it and goes to the pans.
Very funny. I just heard so many stories about
jokes.
witches. Isn't there some kind of survival skill you might have that could help us?
She's good at murdering things.
Great. Well,
not
if I
not
want you to get murdered,
things.
I'll ask her.
Easy there. Not things, alright? Monsters. Anyway, your pants are dry, you're welcome. Get them back on.
I thank you.
And they are still like slightly damp, but they at least like, and it's like not a great feeling put them back on still, but they at least are better than like the murky. And she even was able to get some of like the mud off of the bottom too with that ard, so they feel better, but it's not 100%.
It'll have to do.
Ada, you said you were going to at least maybe get some firewood or...
Just give the pantsless bard some space, yes.
Yes.
Picking
So
up
you-
some sticks.
You kind of, walk away, at least kind of wanting to get away from everybody and look around at least as well. Just roll me an awareness check, actually.
See if you spot the Nilfgaardians coming our way.
Yeah, or some black ones, some drowners. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
And then I add what to this? I guess.
You should add your, if you don't have awareness on...
I have awareness and there's an 8 next to it. So
Yeah, so you would
8?
add +8, yes.
Oh, sweet. 15.
15. Okay. You are beginning to look, and you're not like super like focused on looking at the ground for firewood. You're a member of the Temerian army, so you know that more you have to look to the trees because there are usually people, squirrels, as they like to call themselves, that you have to look out for in these woods, in these parts of the land. So the scoia'tael, as people call them, they actually call themselves endearingly squirrels, and you don't really like that. You're looking around, and you do see some movement up in the trees.
Just slowly reach for my crossbow as I'm acting as if I'm picking up a few branches.
You do, and you look a little bit more as you're kind of leaning down to get the branches and also leaning to your weapon.
I'd also like to whistle,
Mm-hmm.
just like from stories I've heard of witchers.
Mm-hmm.
Just an interesting whistle to just like keep your guard up, sort of kind of thing.
And Lusker, you immediately recognize a whistle. You all hear this, actually. You hear a whistle coming from Ada.
Alright,
And
I think we don't have time for fire.
And all of you, I actually at this point would like you all to make awareness. Make an awareness check.
Awareness.
Sure.
15.
So, wait, roll a d10?
Yes. So you would roll a d10, and if you have awareness as a skill, it will show. But
Yeah.
if not, so you could just add whatever the awareness is to that.
So the number after that, you can add it.
Correct. Yep.
That's a 17.
17.
That's a 19 for Casca.
Okay.
12.
12. So Casca, Luskar, you would see this as well, and then Ada. As you all look up and look around, and immediately, if you're looking up to the trees, you begin to see it. Bodies, people. You look and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 people in the trees. And you look up and you see bows and arrows looking down at you. They're not immediately drawn, but you see they have weapons and they're in the trees. Scoia'tael elves are looking down at you all from where you stand, all surrounding you in the trees in this swamp.
Looks like we have company.
I call out. Well, I don't think there's a need for any of that. You can put your bows away.
You begin to hear.
I think you should let me do the talking here, Dwan.
The one of them, their ears, their elven ears, their ears perk up as they hear you say Dwan. One of them begins talking to each other in an elder speech. Keklose? Nelea tempevenensid. And one of them jumps down from the trees. A woman, an elf. Her hair is like a brunette and it's tied back, and she has face paint across her face of greens and browns, obviously to camouflage herself more. You do see on her side a little squirrel tail and lots of different things attached to her belt, and a bow and arrow in her hands. And she looks to you all. Travelers, what brings you to the banks of the Pontar? These swamps are dark and filled with peril.
want to go
It's not
across?
written. Oh, go ahead. You
he
go.
turns to well, he would say the bard. So he turns to the bard and he goes, "We want to go across."
Yes, that's the idea. Yes.
I'll address the elven woman in elder speech. And we are just travelers. These people are with me. We're not here for any trouble. Things are brewing up down south a little, and if you want easy pickings, I'd suggest you turn your eyes towards Vizima. You can probably snag a few things, and I just like open my satchel a bit to show like the random knickknacks. By random knickknacks, it's the stuff I have in my possessions, but that I like snatched. There's like a dice poker board poking out of it, like a bottle of alcohol, a mirror. And I'm like, you can probably get some decent things before the wave of black washes upon Vizima. We have nothing. I have wet pants. Unless you're interested in a dice poker board.
We are aware of the incoming threat from Nilfgaard, but we are not concerned. You all
Oh,
are
no,
looking
but-
to cross, is that it?
Yeah.
Well, Redania might be a bit kinder to some of you, but they don't take well to outsiders like witchers and dwarves. You can
And
join
that's
us.
a problem. It's a problem we'll have to deal with when we're there.
Well, it just so happens we might have some means to get across the river. We'd be willing to help. For a price.
What do you have in mind?
Well, can't say no to money, of course. Crowns, if you have them. But we are not cheap. We're used to stealing small coin from Dwan who make their way through these parts. So we're not looking for a small amount of crowns from you all. Or you could help us with some labor back at our camp. Your choice. Money, help, or you can be on your way and try to find your own way across.
I'm not much for labor, if I'm being totally honest with you, but since we do have a Witcher, perhaps you have some sort of problem you need solving?
I'm not yours to sell.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, for the good of the group.
I turn myself to Andres. How trustworthy is this?
He's gonna... Andres is gonna lower his voice a lot and just mumble I wouldn't trust him with my life.
Great. She takes that answer at face value. You said I wouldn't trust them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. She turns back and starts speaking to the elf if she understands or not. She's been speaking in a language we understand, right? Not just
Yes, she's been
Elven,
speaking
yeah.
in common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. She just goes, "Look, your offer is very kind. But I think we'll find our own way across and you can go steal or whatever
1 second. How many crowns we talking about?
300. 300 crowns, and we will provide you with our ferry. And we'll even escort you across.
That's a lot of crowns.
Well, you look like you have a lot of crowns, and she points to the mage, to Hera. I'm sure your dress is worth at least 100.
Well, I'm not about to strip down for you, am I? How about 100 crowns, and our Witcher spares you?
Again, I enjoy the enthusiasm. I'm not yours to sell.
Hush now, it's for the good of the group.
No,
Yes.
we can find our own way across.
Roll me a business
Oh,
check,
business!
mage, to see if you're able to talk down to 100.
He's
Imagine
just counting
just
his
going
crowns,
like, what do you think about 100? Deal.
That'd be crazy. Business is intelligence?
Yes, it is.
Cool. Great. And if it's not in the skill basis section, do I add the intelligence number
Yes.
at the top? Okay, just making sure.
Mhm.
Sick. 15.
15. That's pretty good. The scoia'tael elf says 150. And we'll call it a deal.
I think we can muster up 150 crowns. What do we think?
If looking at the scoia'tael leader, does she look like she's the actual figure of authority in that group?
He doesn't actually. They all look pretty like rough and tough, and actually she looks like she's speaking for the group, but she doesn't look like the leader.
How wary are they?
They
Wary as in tired.
they look a little tired. It is the end of the day, and they've probably been quite busy themselves, but not more tired than the rest of you.
Friends. Addressing the scoia'tael.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, most of the people we're traveling with, they're not the wealthy kind. I, myself, doesn't carry a lot of coins, for good reason. You shake down humans outside of cities, which I have nothing against, and, I get shaken down in cities. But I do have skills. If you would like, I could put myself to some use. Little wink at the scoia'tael woman. I'm a
Listener,
good
the moment-
entertainer.
The moment you say that and start offering your services, Lusker looks very confused and is like frowning at you because it's like, but you just.
Roll me a persuasion. At this.
Do I have persuasion? Yes, I do. Okay.
You would be a terrible bard if you did.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I hope.
It's actually a 20.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Nice.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's
And
like
they're-
my third highest skill.
They're rolling a resist coercion. And did not roll well enough. Okay. So the elf looks at you. Look, how about this then? You come back to our camp. We're not looking to just pat down and rob every person we come across. As long as you're not hostile with us, we're not planning on being hostile with you. We have a gate to our camp that recently was broken. Just a little bit of labor from you all. Help us repair the gate. And we'll provide our ferry. And you don't have to worry about the crowns. How about that?
Look, these dwarven hands might look rough, but they are very good at surgery. So, as squirrels, I'm sure you need some medical assistance back at your camp. Y'all don't look too well for wear, but I'm sure I could provide my services rather than picking up logs and hammering nails.
I can pick up logs. I can hammer nails.
I can supervise.
And I'll provide the
Storyteller?
entertainment.
Would I know how trustworthy these like type of squirrels were they called? Like what their reputation is about how trustworthy they could be? Like if they say this, is it like bullshit or is it like okay, yeah?
Yeah, just roll me a human perception, which is under it is a empathy. So if you don't have human perception, you can just roll and then add your empathy.
If they're, I don't think I have
Yeah.
perception.
So let's see. I think you don't.
No, I don't.
So EMP. That-
Yep. So yeah.
As
A 6.
before you roll, as someone who is, very much on the side of the scoia'tael, can I help on that roll?
I would say yeah. If you want to add, why don't you both roll?
Okay, sure.
So you roll as well. Your human perception.
I already rolled a 6.
Okay.
I rolled a 10, an 8, that's an 18, plus 15, so that's 33.
So
What's her background?
yeah, basically. So Andrus, like you notice your Witcher friend Lusker trying to like get a read on them, and you would know that it doesn't seem like that they're lying. Like they don't have any hostility right now in their tone. Yes, they are known to be hostile, but it is the end of the day. They are rather toward the end of their energy levels as well. And you also know that, like, honestly, there is, with the Nilfgaardian threat being more imminent, they might be themselves a little more wary of just attacking anybody and everybody. They are a little suspicious of the one in Temerian garb, the Temerian man-at-arms. You notice the ones in the trees kind of keeping their eyes on Ada. But none of them have pulled up their arrows, their bow and arrows, and they don't seem to be an imminent threat.
Lusker, I was wrong. They're as tired and ragged as we are. I wouldn't disarm myself in front of them, but don't turn your back type of thing.
So you
But I
wouldn't
think we can trust them.
You wouldn't pull your pants off in front of them. I got it.
I said disarm, not disrobe.
Fine,
That's
and
different.
I already turned myself to like the elf, and I say, "Fine, we'll go with you. We'll repair your gate, and you can help us across the river."
Fair enough. Follow us. It's not too far. We'll and she like does a hand signal, and the rest of the scoia'tael jump down from the trees. We'll make it easy and go by foot with the rest of you. As a courtesy, of course. Now we have to get our boots muddy too. So they lead you to their camp.
1 second, I have to get my tent.
as they jump down and stuff, and they say, "Oh no, we'll get your boots dirty as well." Like Lusker just like murmurs, "Team spirit."
And as you, Casca, you begin tearing down your tent. They don't offer to help. There's a bit of tenseness in the air between all of you, as there is a bit of uneasiness. But for the most part, again, it doesn't seem incredibly hostile. And you all walk through the swamp, and they lead you to their camp. So, after a few minutes trek through the swamp and all of the bramble, you come into a small clearing on the banks of the Pontar. Most of the clearing is surrounded by a crude-looking wooden wall made from stripped tree trunks bound together with rope. The wall stands about 8 meters high, and atop you can see painted elven faces looking at you suspiciously from behind these makeshift parapets. So similar to these other elves you've been seeing, they all have this face paint on their faces. The scoia'tael leads you around to a gate opposite the water's edge. While it's been propped up, it's easy to see that the gate has been heavily damaged and charred and cracked. So it kind of just leaves this little makeshift camp that they've had kind of wide open. So crossing into the threshold of the camp, you are met with the eyes of several aggressive-looking elves. But some of them look a little like worse for wear. Each one is carrying a strung bow, and some of them are fiddling with the fletching of their arrows as they watch you enter. Casca, you do see one that looks like it's injured. It looks like they were able to like wrap a tourniquet around its leg, but it's a very like poorly put together tourniquet. But for the most part, you see, you, Lusker, and Ada, being that you're more combat focused, you immediately spot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elves in the camp and 4 that brought you in. So there's quite a few of these elves.
I think.
I was gonna say, like, some of them look at least the humans a little more suspiciously, but they all just kind of eye you all as you enter in.
Aye, Witcher. What would cause that to the gate?
I would say, if you want to see what it looks like, how the gate was damaged, I would roll actually, let me just go a tactics check.
Ooh.
Ada would lean down to the doctor and go, probably a fire.
And Ada, if you also want to roll a tactics, because this is something you might also be familiar with. And I believe tactics is intelligence based. So if you don't have that as a skill, you can just roll your intelligence.
Wait. So if I roll a 1, I have to roll again and subtract
yes,
it, right?
Sadly, that is
The first implosion!
Yeah,
Yeah!
our imploded die. So you roll another 1 and subtract.
So -4, I get a 10 to this, so 6. Yeah, it's a fire.
Yep,
Some
probably
burning.
fire.
That looks a lot more than fire. It's all broken.
Well, that's why we're the carpenters, to fix it. Pat you on the back.
What about you, Lusker? What did you roll? If
I
you,
didn't,
if
but let
you
me
rolled.
quickly...
I was gonna say, if you want to see
A 13, sure. We'll briefly glance.
that, it's still kind of hard to tell.
I guess my main thing would be, is it like monster or is it like natural, I guess?
It looks more like weapons of some sort, not monster. But you do know, yes, some of it does look like actual fire damage, but it looks like there's more to it than that. It's just kind of hard to tell, but it doesn't look like it was monster.
As we are walking in, I'd imagine I would get next to Andres and give him like a pat on the back, maybe slightly too roughly, and just say, just so you know, keeping everything cool in here, your job.
Got it, Chief.
Don't
I'll
call
whip the
me
loot
Chief.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. We're here to fix the gate, the door. Feel free to
Yes.
direct us.
Of course. So, here is our gate, and look, I'll tell you what happened to the gate since you all were so keen to look at it. We used bombs that we stole from a military convoy. We used it to break down the gate and take over the town. And she laughs, and some of the other elves laugh along with her as she explains it. So now we need to bring it back to good shape so we can call this new place our home. Isn't it so homey?
I
It's a
look
bit
around.
swampy,
Is it
but-
is it homey?
It's probably not what you would call home, is it, love?
I do hate to bother you, but is there perhaps a place where we might bathe? We've just been traveling forever, and I'm quite disheveled.
Well, there is the river. Just be careful. It does get a little murky, but that's what you usually use to wash up.
Unhelpful.
If you all would like, we have some food. And they do have a small campfire where there is some form of meat and some form of greens. Unsure what it is, but there's food. They some of them are sitting around, and actually, I have a map. They do have a map of what the camp looks like in the book. I'll post that in the Discord that we're all in.
Yes,
If you guys want to take a
please.
look, it's you'll see that it does go to, like, the way the bridge does. It goes to the river, and you do see the ferry.
Oh.
It's a small ferry, but it is there. You see some of their camp here, some of their supplies. But it's a rather quaint, small camp.
I
think-
imagine as we see the fire, and she mentions the food that we're welcome to if we want to. I would kind of like gesture to the group as a whole. Just give a little hand wave and say, "You can go eat. I'll start on the bridge. What was it? The gate. The gate.
gate.
Yes.
I'll start on the gate so that we can leave as quickly as possible."
It'd be
I go
easier
get
with two
food.
of us. Ada will follow the Witcher.
Okay. And what would the bard and our doctor like to do?
The doctor, seeing the very, very poor tourniquet on this scoia'tael's leg, I think he would approach, just very not being gentle or caring. He'll just walk right up to the scoia'tael and drop his bag and just be like, "You want me to do that? It's very poor, and you're gonna lose a leg like that."
He looks at you, and he kind of looks you up and down, and he just nods.
All right, I'm going to untie it. Don't shoot me with an arrow, right? And
He
then
puts
I will.
his bow and arrow to his side.
Yeah, and then I lost my sheet. Oh, it's behind the map.
Yes, let's see. For you, our doctor, You have healing hands.
I do, yes.
So 16, I think, is what you add.
Yeah, and I think so. Yeah, from what I was reading, there is the critical healing, and then there's just the regular first aid. A regular first aid is a 10.
Save the critical. Save that one.
So
Yes,
if it's a critical wound versus a just first aid skill check and healing health.
Yes, I would say for this is not a critical wound. You can use just a standard first aid.
Got it. Okay. D10. That is a. Oh, that is a 10.
Okay.
So, do I keep going? Or...
Oh, right, you exploding, like you rolled a
Yep.
10. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. So yes, roll another d10, and you can add that to your roll plus your bonus for first aid.
That's a 30.
Yeah.
Very
Nice.
nice.
So good. The best doctor ever.
The best tie ever. Oh my
I
goodness.
told you these hands are nice and nimble.
With the 30, you're able to pull out your surgeon's kit and begin to use like your clotting powder to, fix the wound on this scoia'tael elf's leg, and also disinfect it because it looked like they didn't really do a good job disinfecting the wound either. And you are able to very quickly wrap a new tourniquet around it, and it looks a lot better than what they did. You do it beautifully. And the elf is impressed, and he begins saying something in elder speech to his friend. And they look to you. Well, this is a good job. Thank you.
You might have a little bit of a scar, but I'm sure your elvish ladies enjoy scars. I know dwarvish ladies. So.
We could really use somebody like you joining us.
Well,
Joining our ranks.
generally, I work for crowns, but when you have bows pointed at me, safety works better in measures, so. I do need to get back to Redania, but maybe one day I'll find you.
They look to each other and Caspar and Ella, they say. And the one elf, not the one with the wounded leg, but the one he was talking to, says, I'll help your friends with the gate for doing such a good job. Appreciate it.
If you need any more medical needs, let me know. I'll be here all night. I'm gonna go get some food.
Okay. So those who go over to the camp to get some food, you do see that there is a fish, it looks like. It is, hold on, I have the Witcher food. Dried fish.
Is there a Witcher cookbook?
It is just dried fish. You do see a bit of bread, but they actually don't have a lot of that, so they're not willing to share the bread. And you also see what looks like some sort of fresh olives or something. Like they have some greens, but they're willing to at least share the fish with you. And
It's a bit chewier than I'm usually a fan of.
it's not the best, honestly, but it is nourishment, and you feel at least a little bit better. For those of you who do partake in the fish, a couple of elves sit with you, and they are speaking to each other again. They're speaking in elder speech, so unless you know elder speech, it's hard to make out what they're saying. But I was going to say, Bard, do you know elder speech?
So none of the languages are on our sheet on the
okay.
easy mode, but I will assume as an elf I should know Elder Speech.
Yes. And I would say also, Hera, you know a bit of Elder Speech because you do have to say it when you're casting spells sometimes,
Yeah.
but you don't know a ton. You pick up like a couple of things. You know, like Dwan means human, so you do hear them say every once in a while, like, and then they laugh like something Dwan and Bleta Dwan, or you know, and they laugh, so you know that they're probably saying something like making fun of you guys, but you're not.
And-
Yeah.
Coincidentally, you know the phrase "Where is the toilet" in Elden.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the equivalent of saying like Spanish too, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the
Donde es
Where's the
biblioteca?
library?
Yeah.
But Andres, you are able to pick up what they're saying. They actually, I would say you all know Abeath Mip. I actually have Elder Speech. Abeath me ep ars. Abeath et mip ars means kiss my
Uh-huh.
ass.
Yeah. I didn't need a dictionary to know what
Yeah.
that meant.
And so they're saying kind of offensive things, and you're able to pick up them making fun of you all.
I'm going to call out some of them on it
Okay. In Elder Speech?
in Elder Speech.
Yeah. You
Like,
are
just-
Elven, so they...
Yeah, I'll just turn to them and be like, you do realize that many of those insults are well known by humans. If your point is to try to make fun of them without them hearing anything, and I'll tune up the lute, let me sing you a little ditty that you might appreciate. And I will sing like the most offensive song that I know against
Yes.
human, but that's like covered in like symbolism or analogies to just, you know,
Okay.
and also kind of like ingratiate myself and the group to them.
Roll me a performance just to see how impressed or unimpressed they are by this tune you're playing.
Could I use I mean, my performance is one less than busking. Can I use my busking skill?
Yes, actually, busking you can use as well. A nice...
But I don't want their money.
Yes.
Running
Just their
around
approval.
busking.
I feel like just for flavor, I have heard the song before, and I know that in cities this causes a lot of fucking shit.
Yeah.
But like, maybe I don't hear it now. Just like the hairs on my neck like stand on end, and I peek up because I know shit is happening and he's getting in trouble. But I don't know. No,
You recognize like one or two bars and you're like, oh shit.
it's like a first send. It's like a
I got a 22.
22. Okay. Yes, they are enjoying this, and the tune begins to play throughout the whole camp, and so you all begin to hear it. And unclear if either any of you get offended easily by songs. You probably would get offended by this, but the elves seem to be loving it, and there is a bit more of a joy in the camp. The original hostility that was upon you all upon entering has significantly gone down with A, the healing that has happened, and B, the tune of offensive elder speech toward humans has also lightened the mood. They offer now. They even bring out some of their wine. This is a bit of a rare. A more rare thing, but they do have some Butcher of Blaviken wine that they bring out, and they start to they offer it to anybody who would want to partake.
Absolutely.
You said the song's in Elder Speech?
Yes.
Okay, so Ada's just bobbing his head to it, thinking it's,
Yeah.
it's just a good song.
Actually, yeah.
It is a bop. Like,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
good song.
He's just working, takes the wine, and oh, thank you. And he's just like, guys, ain't that bad.
Now, as you all kind of take a moment of respite with these elves, enjoy some food, enjoy some drink, eventually two of them do come over to offer to help. And I believe it was Ada and Luskar who offered to fix the gate. They at least kind of offer to assist with supplies. And as you walk over, you notice that they point out some of the problems with the gate. You see that the hinge on the left part of the door has been bent and battered out of shape. You notice the right door of the gate that it needs to be shored up with a crossbar. So, and then the last thing you see is that fire has weakened a large section of the left door. So it either needs to be reinforced or maybe get some scrap wood to put this together. So they kind of show you those major problems, and you all can start putting the repairs together. So I will have you make both of you make a crafting check. We're gonna have you make actually two. Well, we'll do the crafting check first. So roll me a crafting check, Ada and Lusker, to see how well you're able to help repair these hinges.
Hey, that's a 10. Okay. It's a 25.
That's a
And
a
yes.
16.
25 and a 16. That's pretty good. So you are able to repair the hinge that has been bent and battered. And you are able to, they provide you with some supplies to kind of set the crossbar of the right door. So now all that's left is like reinforcing the door. And they would have had you kind of go look for some scrap wood to try to maybe reinforce it, but because you guys kind of had such a good time with them at the camp, they provide you with some additional scraps that they had laying around. So I want one more crafting check from both of you to see if you're able to reinforce the door.
It's so kind of them to give us wood when we're fixing their gate. Wow.
They were gonna make you do the work and go look
So-
for it, and now
So
they're like,
kind.
yeah.
No, if we would have had to go find wood, I would have sent like our mage. Like, go
Yes.
get wood.
You could try. You can fucking try.
So if you roll a 10, what happens?
Oh, yeah. So
Yay!
basically, that means it explodes. So you can roll again, and whatever you have on the second roll, you add on top of what you would add to.
And if you roll a 10 again,
You roll again. Did you roll two
Oh,
tens?
Just keeps
Or-
exploding?
yeah.
Yeah, basically,
Mhm.
yes. You keep rolling.
Okay.
It's
It's like
Okay,
spark of
that's-
genius, kind of.
yes.
28.
All right, I got an
28.
18 that time.
28 and 18. Okay. Beautiful. You
We
both
are
are able to.
crafty crafters.
Yes. You are both able to fix the two sides of the door and also reinforce it. You both like get on one side, each of you one on the left, one on the right, and you just
pivot.
Yep, and put it right in place on the front of their camp so that they have a nice, beautiful 8-meter tall reinforced gate that is right in the front of their camp. And some of them do it like, because they're kind of in a good mood with this music playing. They do a little cheer, they do a little dance. They're very happy that you're able to help out. And as you finish putting this together, you actually see another figure who begins to walk towards you all. On the other side of the gate, now that you've reinforced it, you see them coming from the outside, walking towards you all. And it is another scoia'tael elf. Except this one, you can tell there's something different about them. The air is different. She has a hood over her head, so it's hard to make out her face. She has similar markings on her face. She carries a bow, but it is a finely decorated bow with elven elder speech writing on it. And she walks up, and as she does, you see the rest of the scoia'tael who have been kind of like dancing and having a good time. They get a bit more serious.
Uh-oh.
And you can tell that this is the leader of this commando, which is what the scoia'tael call themselves. They like a group is called the commando, and you can tell that this one is the leader. And they all get kind of serious and take a couple of steps back. And she says, "Who are these Dwan, these outsiders, and what are they doing in my camp? I have very little time for banter and fun and games, and very little patience left for liars. Tell me who you are, or else I will have my commando attack you all. And with that, we will take a quick break. As you all figure out what you want to tell this scoia'tael leader, as she kind of kills the mood and is a lot more serious. And
Party pooper.
yes, she's the buzzkill and is very suspicious of all of you.
Mom just got home.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm, yeah.
Mom just got home. So we'll be right back, everybody. We're going to take a quick break, and we hope to see you for the second half of our one-shot. So BRB, everybody. everybody. Welcome back, I think. We're back to our second half of Still Waters. So welcome in, everybody. So where we left off is you saw a scoia'tael leader, a scoia'tael commander, walk up to the camp. After there was some lightheartedness and fun, you helped repair the gate. There was music playing. The air kind of goes back to that tense setting as this leader stands in front of you, and she looks at all of you. And she looks then at the elves and begins to speak again in elder speech for those of you who can recognize it. She asks them, "You let them in our camp? They could be spies." And the elves reply, and they point to the bridge, or not the bridge, the gate. I know I'm saying bridge. "They helped us fix it. We are tired. We are hungry." She looks at all of you. "What brings you to this side of Temeria? Why are you all here?"
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's quite a bit of conflict going on. And
I'm
we're just
aware.
trying to leave.
There's been talk of Nilfgaardians moving about these parts, yes. And how do we not know that you are not aligned with Nilfgaard?
Because why would your camp be worth spying on?
Ada just looks at his armor.
Torma just drinks his drink after seeing that. Like, oh.
Hera, I want you to roll me just I would just say persuasion, actually. Because from what you've said, and I'm going to have...
And I do get an extra +1 for trustworthy
Yes.
ability.
Oh.
Shit, you have that?
Humans, am I right? Persuasion.
Oh, that's against other humans. As you said that, I just read that.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, rip. Yeah, and she's an elf.
Dang it.
So she
It's
don't
okay,
trust you.
I'm gonna roll a 10 right now, so don't even worry about it.
Let's do it. Let's get it.
I rolled a 10!
You
Fucking lucky.
I just dropped my other. I got so excited I dropped my dice. One sec. Okay, there's another one.
Is the CRA the charisma?
CHA.
No, that's craft.
Yeah.
CHA.
I believe it is. Let me just.
It's a skill.
Oh. What category is it under?
Empathy.
Empathy, perfect.
Yes, thank you.
20.
Oh, a 20. Okay. She looks at you all. "Well, truthfully, you don't look like Nilfgaardian spies. I don't think any of you would truly survive what Nilfgaard has placed before us. But we have seen some spies in the past tread through, looking for ways to get to Redania, trying to get the help of scoia'tael commandos to help them. And then before you know it, there's a Nilfgaardian war machine at our door. We're constantly on the move, and while I appreciate you helping fix our gate, even these reinforcements won't stop what is to come. So you all should be very careful if you are looking to travel north, they'll eventually make their way across. They always do. But fine, you've helped my commando, you've helped. They seem to be at least in good spirits for the first time in weeks. So sure, we'll help you get across with our ferry. I'll have some of my commando join you and make the way across. I guess.
Go north yourself. As you said, Nilfgaard's gonna come here eventually. Why stay here with the entire group when you can move while you're still ahead?
Because there is nowhere else to go. Redania is even more hostile toward us than Temeria, if you believe it or not. We don't do well in cities. These forests and swamps are where we find ourselves best. But yes, if only we could go back east to our true homelands. But that's another tale for another day, of course. I'm sure your bard knows of it. If you want to rest, you can, or we can make way right now. It is later in the evening. I will leave it up to you all if you want to leave in the sunrise, or just make your way now in the evening.
See why we'd want to stay.
I turn to the others. Honestly, dangerous both ways. If we stay here longer, Nilfgaard might be here knocking at the gate. If we leave now, chances of monsters higher, I guess.
But that's why we have you.
Yes, I thank you for reminding me that I won't address the princess of the group anymore. And I turn to the other three and I say, choices still stand.
Well, on one hand, crossing the river at night, you fall in the water, you're gone, you're dead. Crossing in the daytime might be more salvageable. Not a fan of drowning.
I mean, we can find out how good we did with the gate. Day or night. Hopefully it holds.
I mean, it's not like they can set up war machines overnight, right?
I kind of
Right?
give a shrug. I kind of give a shrug to that and I say, personally, I'd prefer monsters over Nilfgaardians, but
I agree.
Okay. Let's get on the fair.
So the consensus is to leave tonight.
Yes.
All right, then. We have torches that we can provide to at least help with some light. Though if you prefer the darkness, that's fine as well. Do be careful in those murky waters.
Scoia'tael, I told you. There's something in the water.
I'm falling in. I don't understand why that's even a concern.
Because dwarves don't swim well.
I thought that
We
was a
sink-
stereotype.
We sink like stones.
You sink. Well, don't
But then-
fall in.
Yeah, and wouldn't you also sink during the day? Like, what's the difference?
At least I can see if I fall in the water.
Oh, the trick is to go
Torches.
up.
But then you have the sun above you.
So you want to see whatever grabs you.
All right,
once
we'll
you
go.
fall in the
Just- I'm gonna hang on to that chain. I am not doing anything else.
If, Casca, if you want, I do have some adhesive here. And I have a bottle Alchemical adhesive. I can actually glue you to the ferry if you want.
And if one of you gets bit or scratched, who's gonna heal you? Last thing I need is you bleeding out.
I can glue your feet.
And then I just rotate like a turret, healing you.
Oh yes, when we're hurt, we'll be sure to crawl to the doctor, Andrus. No, we're not gonna glue him to the ferry.
I'm trying to be
Fine,
helpful.
It's fine.
That's all. All right.
We'll
It
just
seems
go
to
at
me
night.
like there's some kind of phobia of swimming or something. I don't think you need to worry about it at all.
Okay, let's go.
And the elves lead you to their ferry. It's with 5 of you, and they offer one of their commando to pull the ferry with the chain that they have. If you have any objections to that, you can obviously object, but they offer to at least help you ride across the river. And you all head on to this ferry. It's a sizable ferry. It is, again, like kind of more of a plank when we talk about ferry, but it's quite large, and you all are at least able to somewhat comfortably fit on it. And the Pontar River is huge. So it is, you don't even see the other side of the river from where you are, especially in the evening. So it'll probably be at least a 20 to 30 minute journey across the river. And you all kind of huddle on. There's probably like a meter of space between all of you as it's getting you get a little cozy next to each other on this ferry. And they begin pulling the chain. And it begins moving across the water. And the scoia'tael offers one of you a torch, if one of you would like to hold it.
I'll hold the
take
torch. Oh, okay.
Oh,
No, if somebody else offers, she like puts her hand out like, oh, okay.
So Casca, you hold the torch, and the scoia'tael again begins pulling the chain, and you go across. And slowly you see the camp begin to go a bit more and more out of distance as you take this ferry across the Pontar River.
Quick. I just want to do one
Yes.
quick like RP thing.
Yes.
He'll hold the torch, but he will dig in his satchel and pull out a lantern, and he'll pass it to Hera. I'd be like, "This might be more your style, lass." And it's a nice, high quality lantern.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Yeah. You seemed. You wanted to hold a light. Here, this one's better for you.
Thank you. It matches my outfit so nicely.
There's a deep grunt and sigh from the other side of the ferry at that exchange.
I
As
don't understand why you need to be huffing and moaning and groaning all the time. You know, some of us can just be nice to each other and have a relaxing time. So much judgment.
Alasker downs a potion, which I'll drink the cat potion, which makes it so that I have no penalty from being in total darkness, which this water definitely is.
Yes.
So I like down a potion as she's like rambling on, and I just say, no, you wouldn't understand. You're right.
I would understand. Please elaborate on that.
I'm sure you're very smart in that head of yours, and you know how witchers are made. Now,
Yes.
do you want to keep me rambling, or do you want to keep me prepared for if a monster attacks and you don't want to be the first bait?
Suit yourself.
You know, after about a decade, you do get used to Luskar's personality.
Grumpy and terrible.
I'm not. And I turned to Andres. I'm like, I'm not grumpy and terrible. All
Oh
right.
no. No, right now I know that
I'm-
you're optimistic and happy. Don't worry, I know.
We can
I know.
all tell that you're so happy.
But also she knows what she's doing.
Look, I can appreciate when you say that kind of stuff, and I point to Andres. Same doesn't come for the mage.
You know, for a Witcher, you're so sensitive. I quite admire it. I think it's very interesting.
Yes, I'm sure lots of mages before you have found it interesting enough to look into Witchers.
Do you have experience with lots of mages?
Personally, luckily, I do not. I'd like to
shame.
keep it that way.
I think we should keep the banter to a minimum. As much as I like to hear it, I like to keep my head on my shoulders more.
And you say that, and as each of you talk back and forth to each other and banter back and forth, there is a bit of like a lingering echo to it as the quietness of the river. It truly is almost like eerily deafening and strange, as opposed to the brush and things that you heard in the swamps. It's now just gotten quiet. And as Casca says that, you all quiet for a minute, and you do kind of take in the area around you. You see the pitch black darkness of the river, and you look ahead, and the other side, Redania is not yet in sight. And it's just darkness except for the lantern and torch and what you can see from your cat's eye vision. Feels a little eerie for a few moments. And I want you all to make an awareness check.
16.
Also 16.
Twins.
Beans.
11.
25.
24.
So everybody except Andres, you sit silent for a moment and begin listening to the sounds around you and what you can hear from this deafening silence. Every little drip and drop that you hear in the water begins to startle you slightly as you're not sure what could be out there. And you hear more and more drips and drops in the water. You hear rustling. And then you begin to see it. Movement. Something is heading toward your ferry. Is it some sort of fish? Is it some sort of aquatic life? No. It gets closer and closer. Now you see small, little, round, circular heads pop from the water. And then you really see it. Yellow eyes staring at you, and horrid teeth, bluish skin, beating yellow eyes. Small little creatures begin to hiss and move towards you. And anybody who rolled in the 20s for that, you see that there's 5 of them. And anybody who has monster lore, which I think
Hi,
definitely
people.
the Witcher has. Is there? Yeah, monster lore. It's intelligence based. So you could, yeah, you could,
or Witcher training.
or Witcher training. If you want to roll to see if you recognize what this monster is in front of you. Yeah, so Lusker, if you want to roll that, but if anybody else wants to roll monster lore, you could as well.
It's intelligence.
Intelligence based, yes.
I would say just because he wants to know who's attacking him as a soldier.
It's a 13.
Okay.
He's also a 13. What is happening?
Hey.
An 18.
18. So, Casca and Ada, you've heard stories from sailors and people in the waters about monsters that are resurrected evildoers. They are horrible, hellish creatures called drowners. And Lusker, you know, yes, it is a drowner. But you know a bit more than what the sailor stories are. They're not resurrected evildoers. They are just necrophages. They're small, usually easy to deal with, but in large numbers, they can be very, very problematic. Their claws are what you mostly have to look out for. And they're completely monstrous, acting on instinct. There's no way to reason with them. And you see, as they begin to pop out, they start to crawl up onto the ferry very slowly. You see 5 of them, and they begin hissing at you all.
Oh, your hiss isn't coming through.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It's
Oh no!
So good
Dang.
and so
My
inhuman that
immersion!
Yeah,
this
No,
word
my
filtered it out.
immersion.
My immersion.
Oh gosh, I just turned down the gain. But they begin hissing at you. Thank you.
Yes.
Scary.
When we notice that, or at least when I don't know what when the others notice it, but when I notice it, I'll get out a second little vial, pop the corkscrew, and basically take out one of my swords, my silver one, pour it on there, and say, "Fuck, drowners, 5 of them. Watch your back."
And with that, I would like everybody to roll initiative. Which
Damn, we have initiative in this game. Holy
yes,
fuck.
in The
Dex,
Witcher, it is Dex, or is it Reflex?
Reflex.
Okay,
Ooh,
I was
it's
gonna say I
Reflex. That's
remember it's
even
Cyberpunk.
better.
So it should be a D10 plus your Reflex.
All right.
Then
14
Oh.
for Casca.
All right,
Oh,
I better write this down.
Yeah.
that was a nat 1. Hold on.
Oh
no.
Ada was dozing. He was dozing
Yeah.
off. He's like,
y'all were bitching at each other. And he just falling asleep. That's a 2 for Ada.
Okay.
He has such a cute little like demeanor of when he doesn't know what's happening. It's just like, nothing's wrong.
I got witchers. I got mages yelling at each other. I thought they were gonna be casting spells and fighting monsters. It's a letdown. So he just went to sleep.
I have a 19.
19. Okay.
I have a 13.
Okay. And
I'll
then...
RP it as Ada really wanted to go to bed after fixing that gate.
I feel that.
and a little bit of wine, it went right to his head.
Yeah, went right to
And
his head.
then, Hera, what did you roll?
7.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, 7, and then let me roll. Rounders, we'll make one roll collectively for all of them. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They rolled a 12. All right, so The order is Lusker, Casca, the Drowners, Andras, Hera, and then Ada. So we start with our Witcher first. What would you like to do? So
Yes.
combat. Combat basically works. Let's pull up my little combat notes here. So you can do movement, but since you're on a ferry, there's not too much movement you can do, but you can at least move to get closer to them if you need to. And then your action. So there's a few different types of attack actions you can do. There is a fast melee strike, which allows you to attack 2 times, or a strong melee strike, which allows you to attack once. And it is, I think you take a small penalty, but you could do double damage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A quick question on Iridan as a sign. It's the magic circle. Because I always misuse this in the game. Literally. Could I potentially use this to protect some people on this ferry?
Yes, actually, you can. That's a great idea. Yes, a magic circle with a 3-meter radius. So you could place it on the ground. And I would say it doesn't protect the whole ferry, because it's a pretty large ferry. But it would at least protect some of the ferry if some of you want to get in basically just going to be a circle of protection. That is 3 meters wide.
Yeah. I think that's my plan for now, because I don't think everyone on this, I know not everyone on this ferry can fight very well, and there's quite a lot of drowners. So I immediately put my, or not lightly put, but vigorously put my hand to the ground, and runes appear around a big circle of the ferry. I'll say something because not everyone knows what this is, so I'll say in the circle if you don't want to die.
And that...
Hi, Witcher.
You're fucking sleeping.
And that will last for 5 rounds. Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay, and I believe that is your turn to just use the sign.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, Casca.
Yes, I will shoot my hand crossbow at, the closest drowner that's climbing up to, climbing on the raft.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is a crossbow skill, okay.
And would you like to do that as
I can only do it as a fast shot.
Okay. Good to know.
That is a 12 to hit.
12? Okay. So it is going to defend by trying to dodge. Let me pull up the on my other screen here. Okay. Ooh, okay, yes, it does not roll very well. Actually, okay, yes, so you are able to hit it.
Got it, and then I roll hit location.
Yes. So 1 to 10, we'll see where you hit it.
It's a 3.
All right.
So in the upper body.
Okay, I'm actually gonna make little boxes for each of these drowners. Okay, so you got the upper body. Okay, so that's just a standard hit. You don't get to multiply anything for your damage.
Got it, and then damage is 2d. Sorry, I was looking at what WA was again. And then going up to damage, it is 2d6 plus 2.
Okay.
That is 9 damage.
9 damage to this drowner. Okay.
And then for the This hit location, upper body, penalty mild -1. Do you know what that means again?
It's if you want to do a cold shot to it.
Got it. Okay, makes sense.
Yes.
Cool. So 9 damage to the drowner.
Okay. And so you said that your crossbow, that's only one
shot. Yes.
one shot. Got it. Okay. So that is your turn. Now it is the drowners. And the drowners do like to go for one person. Whomever this is, they're not going to be having a good day. And I'm going to roll. How many? There are 5 of you.
You can roll a 6, and one of them is you. And
Yeah. And then
They
the
attack
drowners
each
don't
other.
hit. Yeah,
Right.
they attack each other.
1, 2, 3.
They start hitting each other and making out. It's
They
crazy.
miss.
Oh no. Oh no. Our mage.
It's fine. I'm gonna live forever.
Kara, you haven't had a chance to move toward the Witcher, where their Earden sign is. And the drowners make their way toward you to attack. And the first one, they roll a 1 plus 0. Okay. Well, that's so. I'm not even gonna have you roll to defend against that. The first one misses.
Cool.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so scary.
7. Okay, so the next one rolls a 7.
Cool. How does armor work in this game?
It's the same as Cyberpunk, where you have, if it goes past, like if it's 11 or 12, if it goes
Sure.
past that, you take, and then you take
Great.
one.
One
But
ablation.
you are able to defend against this attack.
Cool.
So you can either block, dodge, or reposition yourself.
Cool. What stat does reposition use?
Athletics.
Yes.
Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yeah, I'll reposition.
Okay.
Could be worse. Could always
Could
be,
be
worse.
Could reposition off the ferry.
14.
14.
A cool 14.
So you are able to successfully defend against the second one. All right, let me roll the third one. 6. So I think I have to add. Okay,
You have to add their brawling to it.
that's what it is. The brawling. 6. Okay. 19 for the second one.
Ooh, there we go.
That's
Sure.
what I. Yes.
It's like a bitch for sure.
Okay.
Can I keep repositioning or
You can.
evading every time I get
yes.
hit?
Yes.
At the cost of 1 stamina.
Oh, good to know.
So you get 1 free the first
Thank
time you
for
do it.
reminding me of that.
Yep, I'm reading it right now just to catch up on
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And then
Good.
every
Oh, we have
defensive action after that costs 1 stamina.
Good call. Yeah, I'll try again. I'll do it again.
Okay.
Big money. Let's go. That's a 10.
Oh shit!
Oh, another 10.
High
Hell
rollers.
yeah.
And then a 9. Yeah, super good.
Okay.
29.
Yeah, 29 plus
off the
9.
You are able to reposition. So you're like, they are very small, these drowners, and they're swiping at you with their claws. And you're just kind of like, yes, moving out of the way and kind of repositioning your body. And almost like you could potentially even step on them. They're so small. But there's 3 more. So, woo, this is a
Cool.
14.
It's like dodging all the creepers at the ballrooms for you. You're just-
17 to hit with this next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
If you want to try to defend, or you can just take the blow.
I'll defend again.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get hurt. For 14.
14. Okay. I'm like trying to remember what I rolled now. Let me just redo the math here.
I think you said 17.
It did hit. So
It still
okay.
hits.
Yep,
Gotcha.
it hits. So
Okay.
that is 8 with its claws. It swipes at you for 8 damage. So
Some
if
armor.
ablate your armor, does that go through your armor?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
For 4 damage.
Okay, I believe that was my 4th attack, so I got 2 more to go. Oh my god.
I thought there was only 5.
Sorry, 1 more to go. You're right. There's only 5.
Don't scare me like that.
I made 6 little boxes, and I did too many. Thank you. We'll be here all night if it's 6. Okay, so brawling 13, 19.
Cool. I'll try again.
Okay.
I'll just
These guys
keep
are little
doing
brawlers.
this. Yeah, they are. They're mean.
They just jump somebody.
Oh, 1. That one does not work.
Ooh.
Very bad.
All right. It strikes at you with its claws.
We got a healer,
6,
though.
7, 8,
We'll be
9,
fine.
10. It does 10 damage to
Wowzers.
you.
Damn.
All
Damn,
right.
indeed.
Someone
with-
would say, karma.
And with that, Andres.
Andres is gonna take his short bow because as an elf I can take it out, string it, it doesn't take an action, and I'm gonna look to Luskar and say, "Oh, I need to show you something I picked up." And Tracy, I'm gonna go for something super complicated just to screw with you. I'm gonna cold shot a head with a strong range strike. So I got a -8, but I'm
Okay.
gonna dump all of my luck in it to negate
Okay.
it and go back to 0.
Okay, great.
If you
And I
one-shot
rolled a
this
20.
Okay.
So does it dodge?
It will try to dodge.
Please fail.
it will be pretty impressive if you manage to do this.
Dodge escape is
Yeah, because it's the worst math thing possible you can do.
Read
it
the
rolled a
combat.
17.
So it's a hit in the head with a strong strike. So my basic damage for the bow is it's 10. 3d6 plus 3, I rolled a 7, so 10. Times 2 because it's a strong strike, so 20. Times 3 because it's the head, so he takes 60 damage.
Oh my.
Well, okay, power gamer right here. Let's go. Love that. Power gamer bard.
Holy
I'm just saying,
fuck.
this is the most complicated thing you can do in combat.
This is amazing. Thank you.
Holy fuck.
Because you guys see the bard pull out it's a crossbow, correct?
No, it's a short bow. Like,
Or
I'm
short
like
bow.
super giddy, and I'm like, look, Lusker, I picked this up recently.
And the scoia'tael actually looks at you in awe as you strike at this drowner and completely annihilate it. There's guts flying everywhere. Some of it hits you a little bit, Hera, as it explodes in front of you, and one drowner is completely annihilated. And you all kind of turn your head for a moment and look to see who did that, and it is the bard who just took that strike. And
I am just as surprised as everyone else.
and with that, Hera, actually, it is your turn.
Remind me not to get on your bad side. And I would like to move to the circle.
Yes.
Does that add something I need to know?
You are now protected, where if the drowners try to enter into the circle, they take penalties. So you are now at least protected.
Are there no attacks of opportunity in this game?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, like
No.
Cyberpunk.
Thank God. More things to worry about.
I will. I'm going to cast Aphan's Mirror. Aphan's? Aphan's Mirror.
Okay.
All three are correct.
Yeah. Better. Creates 1d10 illusory copies of the caster. These copies are intangible but indistinguishable from the caster and controlled by the caster's mind. Controlling the copies does not require an action, but they cannot move more than 10 meters from the caster. This spell is active and requires 2 stamina.
Okay.
So I'd like to do that and create.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah,
roll
your
for
D10.
copies.
There's
That's
10
a
of
lot.
you.
That'd be wild. Hey, guess what?
Did you roll a 10?
There's 10 of me.
How much space is there on the boat?
I was gonna say,
They're just, like,
Well, they're
Floating?
illusory,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they can kind of just
walk
know,
through them.
walk
Yes.
through.
One of them stands on the water, you know it's not real.
Yeah, I just want to one's clipping through the boat, just like in the real Witcher.
T-pose.
And I would like for them to surround the drowners as a way to try to confuse them and draw attention off of me.
Okay. So you all see this happen as you see multiple Heras just ploop, 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 pop up. And yes, you count 10 of them, 11, including the one who's standing in the Irden circle right now. And the drowners are not very smart, so they look visibly confused. And they don't immediately take action other than looking visibly confused and howling and growling. Next up, Ada. Waking up from a doze slumber. And that only it's 3 seconds per turn, so it's only been like not even a minute. And you're waking up from your sleep and you see drowners, you see 10 versions of your mage friend. There's a lot going on this ship.
All right, I'm up. And he's gonna pull out his battle axe and his Temerian shield. Just in a defensive position mainly, but he's gonna start swinging at the first drowner he can.
Okay, so I believe you can also either do a strong melee or fast, so you can do 2 attacks or 1.
I'm gonna
Strong
do
one.
fast melee
Okay.
strikes, so I can get 2 attacks.
Yep, so that'll just be no penalties or anything. You attack 2 times.
Do I use melee or brawling? Because I heard you say brawling earlier, but I also have melee.
You use melee, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, brawling is when you have like claws or
Claws.
fists in
Gotcha.
our cases.
Yeah.
I want to chop them to bits. All right, that's gonna be 21.
21. Okay. And so the second drowner, because the first one got annihilated, it is going to try to defend with a dodge.
Copy.
Let me just see. It rolled a 15. What did you roll?
21.
21. Okay. 21. So you hit.
Okay, and then hit location, I roll it to see where I hit on it.
Yes. So you roll a d10. We'll see where you
Okay.
hit.
Upper body.
Upper body. Okay. So that is so no multipliers to that.
Cool.
So go ahead and roll your damage.
This is gonna be with the battle axe, so this is 5d6 plus 4.
Whoa! 5d6. Okay.
7.
You might be able to easily take out this drowner too.
24.
All right. I'm gonna add a little flair because it nearly dies from this attack. It has 1 hit point remaining, and for the sake of just story and dramatic flair, Ada, you see this thing. What would you like to do as you see it kind of shrivel up from your attack? what kind of final blow do you think you would do to just completely kill it?
Oh, kick it off the ferry.
Okay. And you do it with that kick. That is what seals the deal, and this thing, the life drains from it completely, and it gets crushed in. Its entire little body gets crushed in and falls backward into the water. And you are able to take out a second drowner. Woo!
I would like to swing with my second attack at the next closest
Yes, and you may go ahead and strike at the second one.
That's going to be just a 20.
20. All right. And it is also going to try to dodge. 16. It does not. Go ahead and roll.
Another upper body.
Okay.
Quick math.
Seriously.
There's a lot of it.
Yes. Should bring a calculator when I run this at Gen Con.
Right, that's just 21 damage. So that was still up.
21. Okay, just 21. Okay.
Oh wait, plus 4. I'm sorry, plus 4. So 25.
Okay.
Sorry.
You are able to wipe out another drowner. It falls backwards. Its small little claws, it begin to move backwards, and it falls to its back as you take out another one of these drowners.
Happening. He just looks around at all this.
Craig, do you want to hear something fun?
What did I do?
You can spend 3 stamina to do exactly what you just did again, but with a -3 to your d10s. So you can do like up to 4 attacks with your axe.
I would. That's insane and freaking awesome.
Just saying.
I'm definitely playing this game again. But I do want to see more Witcher stuff.
That's
so
true.
I want Lusker to go again.
Yeah, that is fair.
Valid.
But I will remember that, and I will play this again.
And with that, it does bring us back to the top of the round. So Lusker.
Yes. Normally in this situation, I would say, hell, I'll use Igni. But I'll consider for one moment that we're on a wooden raft slash ferry, and that's not a good idea. So instead, I'll rush towards the remaining drowners, and I will... So basically, when I do a strong attack, I can only do it once, but with the other one, I can do it twice.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, then I'll go for the fast attack.
Okay.
And I'll try to swing with my silver sword into
yeah.
the first drowner.
Yes. Okay, so go ahead and roll your d10 plus the skill base plus W if you have it.
Wait,
I don't think any one of us have WA.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Crossbows give WA plus 1.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So what do I add to my roll?
Swordsmanship.
Yes. Thank you.
No problem. Sorry.
This is very
Okay,
helpful.
where-
Bless.
I'm
I'm
trying
like,
I'm trying to find the
it should be, I think under just skill bases, I think.
first. Oh
You
yeah.
get 2
Okay,
pages.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was about to say like I don't have it, but yeah. I
That would be weird.
do. That is 26.
Ooh, okay. All right. It is going to try to dodge once again. It rolled a 1, so it definitely does not. So now you
Alright.
do the same thing. We roll a d10 to see where you hit it.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If you roll a 1, you hit the head, which it does ×3 damage. If you roll it 8 to a 10, it's the lower body. It does half the damage. But usually the average is just the upper body.
I have a 6, so I think
6?
that's upper body.
Yep. So you do standard damage to it. So go ahead and roll your d6s
Yes.
for damage.
And I do have a +5 added bonus damage because I put on the oil.
Oh, yes. And also, Silver is like poison to monsters, which is why
Yep.
Witchers carry silver. When determining damage against a monster with a silver weapon, the attacker rolls a number of extra dice as indicated in the weapon's description. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw that. So
Cool.
I have that. So that's 10, 18, 20, 25.
25. Holy shit. Okay. You guys are one-shotting these drowners, which honestly is fair. They're just drowners. They're not like other horrible things that you could find in the sea. So you do take out this drowner. Instantly, it falls once again, and the silver even almost making its flesh almost burn from the pain. And this one especially, it gets taken out and torn to shreds. And one drowner remains. It stares.
And I can do a second attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it stares at all of the witches around it, the mages around it, in confusion as you do another strike.
I imagine this as in the game of like those fancy swirling like type of
The
fighting.
pirouettes,
Because
yeah.
because it's also like School of Wolf, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Um,
So, yes, you all watch Lusker just do these extremely well-crafted pirouettes with her blade as she strikes into the one, and you see her go for the second strike.
24.
24.
Nice.
All right.
Jesus, do take a calculator with you to check.
I know.
Like, honestly.
I know. And I'm a
Seriously
person.
considered like practicing with flashcards.
I'm a person who counts with my fingers still when I roll too.
Oh,
so,
God.
Okay, so let's see. 9, 20, 21. Okay, it almost. So you rolled a 24.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it almost was able to dodge, but it does not. So you can go ahead and roll your damage.
I have so 3, so that's upper body. 10, 15, 20, 22.
22. You strike again into this this drowner, and you feel the blade once again piercing into its skin, this silver with the oil on it. The drowner cries out in pain. It still is hobbling up like it's still alive. It's barely holding on to its life as you dealt immense amounts of damage into it. And maybe Casca will be able to deliver the final blow.
So yeah, I will as I see this drowner hobbling. Is there like reloading a crossbow or anything like that? I didn't catch that.
I don't think so.
It's
I
just
think the easy mode. Yeah,
For
I think the
easy
easy mode
mode,
just
yeah.
says, "Screw it." You just
Yeah.
can't do a
Got it.
strong strike with it.
Got it. Okay, so I will shoot my crossbow at this hobbling drowner. Gotta find my D10 1 second. There it is. That's a 15 to hit.
15. All right, and I think it takes a penalty. Yeah, it does not. Yeah, it it rolls a 2.
Got it,
So
okay.
yeah, you yes, you're able to hit it.
All right, and then let's just roll damage for funsies. Oh, let's see where it hits.
Yes, maybe you'll hit the head.
That's an 8. I think that's in the leg.
That
the leg.
is, so it's
So I
half
think
damage.
Half damage. All right, so 2d6 plus 2.
Blow its kneecap out.
Yep. 9 damage to its leg.
Arrow
9
to the knee.
damage. Yes, and the final blow on this drowner. An arrow indeed to the knee. Its small little tiny knee, as the blade still stinging from the blade of the Witcher, and it falls limp and dies. And you are all out of combat as you were able to take out these drowners. The scoia'tael, who has been continuing to push the ferry across while this is all happening, very impressed, actually, and takes a moment to just. Well, I must say that was quite good work that all of you did. And you stand in front of these carcasses of drowners, and Lusker, you're able to look down, and you do know some of this is salvageable for yourself. The loot, you see drowner brains, 5 of them, 5 drowner tongues.
Sorry, 4.
and-
I kicked one off the ship.
Oh yes, 4. That is correct. Only 4 drowner brains, 4 drowner tongues, and 2 essence of water. Which these are all items. Actually, even you as a doctor, Casca, would probably might have some use for some of these things for crafting. Same thing for you, Hera. You know that some of these components can be useful for your own spells and concoctions. So at least for a few of you, some of the loot from the drowners might be useful to you.
Ugh, all right, I'll just push all this off the ferry. Just
No,
Oh.
you don't. You should just leave them there. I'll pile them up.
All right.
And as I like help to pile it all together, I bent down and I turned to Torma and I turn my head to him. I say, Doc, pretty sure you can do some things with a few of the elements I can take from these.
Well, take your share, and I'll take the rest.
You hear that, Witcher? Sharing. We're sharing. Sharing the loot.
I turn back to the drowners and I like take out a little dagger as I answer. I'm pretty sure the river is nice for a swim.
Ugh. Well, this was adventurous.
Luskar, if I may.
I'm like, my dagger is in like the head of the drowner as you.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm being super careful. Look, I know there's no love lost between you and the cloning princess over there, but she did get clawed a few times. Maybe she deserves a bit of the whatever guts things you're pulling out.
Hey, if the doctor decides to help her with the clawings, that's on him.
Well, I did my part.
Ada's
And I
already
just
asleep.
continue on.
Those probably will get infected, yes. How about, we'll call it 25 crowns, and you can have the other reagents.
Crowns?
25 crowns.
25? No, we're working together. I took the hits. I soaked up all the damage.
All right, well,
You
if you want to
soaked up
die,
other stuff as well.
if you want to die from drowner infection,
I'm
be
not
my guest.
paying you 25 crowns to help me.
20,
10,
15,
13,
final, 15 final offer,
13.
14.
Oh, I pull out 15 crowns. I drop them in the hands of Casca.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 15, alright. Come here, lass. I'll take a look at them.
That's a
You might-
stupid move, Andrus. She would have gone for 14.
I
might
can
have
make
to-
this in less than an hour in a good tavern, so.
You might have to take off this bodice. Alright, no one look at the... Well, what did the elf say? The cloning princess? Alright. Oh yeah, this cut some insides. We're going to have to stitch this up. You're going to have a pretty nasty scar, but I think you'll be able to take care of it with your magics. And I'm just gonna see how the roll goes. just for
Yeah,
fun.
go ahead and roll your first aid.
Yes.
Healing hand.
Or healing hands, yes.
Yeah, so it is a 27.
Yeah, you're able to patch up these drowner wounds pretty easily. Though she did, take some damage. It really is not that bad. She'll live.
All right, no strenuous activity for, I'd say, 3 or 4 days, and you'll be right as rain.
Darling, I never do strenuous activity.
And as you all make your way across the Pontar River, the river begins to, you see the other side. And after about 20 minutes or so, you probably are very happy to see land on the other side, the land of Redania in front of you. And the night is still dark and full of terrors. And and the scoia'tael waves you all off at the ferry as you disembark.
I think before the scoia'tael leaves, the offer that the scoia'tael made when he healed the tourniqueted wound, I think he would tell the scoia'tael, well, if you need me, you can find me in Novigrad. As long as you have the crowns, I'll provide the healing.
You wouldn't catch me dead in Novigrad.
Well, suit yourself.
And he sails back. And as the river disappears in the distance behind you and you all walk forward, you can see the forests of Redania spreading out before you. It'll probably be another few days before you can find a town, but the hard part is over. And for now, the war front is far behind you. And that is where we will conclude. Still waters. You all survived and crossed the Pontar River and made it to Redania with just a few scratches.
Gaming.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
We did it.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
Witcher.
Congratulations, Craig, for surviving your first one-shot.
Yeah!
Oh.
Craig always dies.
I usually survive Magitek.
Mine, yeah, because I'm the nice DM, as we've learned. I'm the nice GM.
No.
Look, I gave him a flavor kill because he got that drowner to 1 HP. Okay, because I'm nice.
The man at arms hit hard. I was like looking at
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
imagine that you can use it, like your stamina, to do that again.
Yeah, that's
With, like,
insane.
a small minus.
To redo.
So just
Redo the same
narratively
thing?
playing a man at arms in such a war-torn
Yeah.
society. It's very cool.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah. I hope I get some of those players.
And also, they are almost impossible to kill.
Oh yes, I saw that too.
Your special
oh,
skill
right,
is
because the
just like
special skill. Yeah.
you can't die.
Yeah. It's pretty badass, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all for going through this little one shot with me. I greatly appreciate it. I feel like I've run The Witcher before, but again, it's been like 8 months since I've been like deep into it. So like, I was like, oh, like this is very helpful. The combat was not as bad as I remembered. I was like, okay,
It's
It
not.
was a lot of fun.
once we got in it, I was like, okay, like I'm
Yeah.
in the rhythm now. Like I understand what needs to be done. So I appreciate you guys going through this with me to like get myself back in that mode. I feel like that was very helpful. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate you for GMing and
Yes.
inviting,
It was really
inviting
cool.
us.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
It's just
yes.
it's one of those games where it's like you love the background of The Witcher.
I
and
do.
then-
Yes.
And well,
Yes.
just if you love it in general for anybody, but it's
Oh,
just
yes.
like you can, it's one of those games
Yes.
where like if you follow the lore, you can like just put yourself in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where if you haven't played like D&D or 5e, but you've played The Witcher 3, like you can just jump right in and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what- you know
Yeah.
you know what's
Agree.
going on and stuff like that. So that's really
Yeah.
cool.
I had wanted to dress up like a scoia'tael for this, but that would give away that you guys are going to encounter a scoia'tael.
Mm.
So I was like, I guess I'm just going to be a Nilf Guardian.
And it's perfect and it's
but
fun.
It's
yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Next time?
Yeah.
Yeah, next
Next
time.
time?
Hey,
Yeah.
like to be honest, this system was so cool, and as you said, like it's because you love the world and like the building around it. So like it's so cool, it's so fun to play in, and also like it was my first time having you as a GM, Tracy. But you're so good. God, the voices and stuff, and the team building. Ah,
I'm
I could
glad.
I could slurp up the accent you use for like the leader of the scoia'tael. Like, ah.
I that makes me happy. I am very glad. And you guys, I love all of your characters. You did a good job. Again, for everybody, for the audience, these were all like pre-gen characters that I had them pick because that's what we're going to be running at Gen Con. Like the character sheets are already built. So sometimes that can be a little like, oh, I got to play a pre, but like you guys kind of just like went right into it and picked up your characters and picked up their
These are-
personalities really
These
well.
are solid pre-gens also.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the sheet. It's really easy to read. It's really like a pretty diverse spread of skills on my sheet. So
So, with all that, I want to just say thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you. This will be on our YouTube, so if you want to watch the full thing, if you're only able to catch part of it, the VOD will be up this week. And if you're at Gen Con, stop by our Talsorian's booth and say hi. Maybe you'll see me running this and stressing out over counting all of my drowners on my notepad. So yeah, I'll be running this exact one-shot at Gen Con, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it'll be a fun time. So thanks again to my awesome players. I'm going to quickly just go down the line. If you guys want to just very quickly just shout out anything you're doing or where people can find you. So we'll quickly go down the line here. So Anais.
what's up? My name's Anais. You can follow me at Anais R. Morgan on pretty much all the social medias, all the big ones anyway. I'm currently in Cyberpunk Edge of Extinction over on Infinite Sided Dice. That show's awesome. A lot of love and a lot of work goes into it, so it would mean a lot if you checked it out. I am also going to be at Gen Con, so if you're at
Yay!
Gen Con, stop by the Renegade booth or haunt the Renegade halls a little bit, and I'll be floating around,
there.
and I'm sure you can catch me and we can say hi.
Awesome. And Chris Stormbeard. Oh, thanks for
Yeah.
all the sub gifts, by the way.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris Stormbeard, you can call me whatever you want. You can find me here on Magitek RPG, Tuesdays and Fridays right now, but I'm sure, with our changing schedules, we'll see me a bit more. I'm also be at Gen Con with the Magitek RPG group, so if you see Tracy and you want to say hi, like, hey, where's Chris? I want to say hi. Or you just find me, just come up and say hi. I'm a very personable person, so yeah,
Yes.
don't be shy.
And Craig.
Hey, Craigums on everything. I'm also on Magitek RPG. Also Unbalanced Encounters Rally podcast. I will also be at Gen Con
Hey.
with Magitek RPG crew. So yeah, you can say hi to me. Sure, why not? Yeah, thanks. That's everything.
Cool. And Syrinx.
Hey, I'm Syrinx. This game was a blast. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as such. And you won't find me at Gen Con, but like, hey, you can still say it's fine.
And last but not least, Simon, Wandering DM.
Hello, Simon Wandering DM. I also will not be at Gen Con, but our game studio is going to be there, and we're going to demo the game I've been working on, Werewolf the Apocalypse Retaliation. So we're going to have demos there. We're going to have copies of Vampire Chapters to sell too, with like con exclusives and stuff.
Oh shit.
So
I have
yeah, you
that.
can find us at the booth with Miniature Market.
Okay, I'm gonna go stop by there too, definitely.
The games are probably gonna be all sold out by Thursday night.
Oh crap. Yeah. Probably accurate, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Werewolf though, the demos are running like the whole weekend. It's
Cool.
in Hall A or something like that. I don't remember
Okay.
the exact name of the room.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, everybody. Last but not least, actually, thank you to our tech director, George, who helped with the overlay and the music and also the Drowner background noises. Thank you. Thank you very
You weren't
much.
going crazy.
Yes. Really appreciate you, George, because like when you have to do it as a GM, it's very stressful. So I appreciate you doing all the background stuff while I was able to focus on GMing. George will also be at Gen Con. So say hi to all of us. And that's it for us, everybody. We're signing off now. See you on Monday for Tales of Thunder. Bye, everybody. See ya.
We are clear.